Hi guys, welcome back. Let's try to understand what is market capitalization and how the companies are classified as large cap, mid cap, and small cap. Apart from that, we will also try to understand what are the major factors we have to consider when we are investing in large cap, mid cap, or small cap. Okay, so market capitalization is nothing but number of shares outstanding into current market price. What is this number of shares outstanding? Let us suppose take an example company X. So company X need a 1 crore capital. So for which it was offering 1 lakh shares and the current market price they have decided it to be 100 rupees. Okay. Right now there were 1 lakh shares and the current market price is 100 rupees because of which they got 1 crore capitalization, right? Simple language, whatever the capital you need, you just got to divide that into shares and then you will decide the price of that share. And after that, depending upon the performance, your share price will vary. Okay. So these are the basic understanding of market capitalization. It's nothing but number of shares outstanding and the current market price. So let's try to understand in the current market scenario what is market capitalization. First of all, let's go and see like how Infosys works here or how Pidilite works here in terms of market capitalization. Okay. So I'm just going to a website called Tickerfinology. So I'll just type Infi and you could see the number of shares or 415.04 and the current market price is 1389. So I have entered both. And then if I multiply number of shares and the current market price, I'm arriving at 5,76,511 crores. So this is the market capitalization of Infosys. And you could see there was variation with this number and the variation is minute. The reason because the number of shares outstanding is not is rounded off here. Okay. So that's the reason why you could find some kind of normal variation from this figure to the figure which was there in the website. So same with the Pidilite, we'll just go and check with Pidilite. So Pidilite, if I just go to the Pidilite, number of shares for 50.86 crore and the current market price is 2455.50 and where the market capitalization will be around 1,24,886 crore. But here in his website, 882 crores. As I said, because of rounding off, you can find that kind of normal variation. Fine. So I hope you guys understand what is market capitalization. Now let's jump into classification of companies based on their market cap. So there was no particular limit as such where a company will be classified as large cap, mid cap, or small cap. But based on different websites, so I have taken few data from different websites. So I have seen somewhere like large cap is more than 20,000 crores. In other website was more than 28,000 crores. In other website, the BSE decides it in the form of 80, 15, 15, some kind of rule is there. But whatever it is, so I would say consider any company which is having a market capitalization of more than 20,000 crores as a large cap. Because 20,000 crores is reasonably big and then you can just consider those kind of companies as large cap. And coming to the mid cap, so you can consider somewhere around 5,000 crores to 20,000 crores. So between these you can classify those companies as mid cap, and below 5,000 crore you can call them as a small cap. Okay. And micro cap, one another capitalization is micro cap, but it was not practically in existence, but you can just classify that as below 500 or below 100. You can call below 100 crores as micro cap or else below 500 crores as micro cap. So there is no hard and fast rule that this is the limit where you have to call a company a large cap or where you have to call a company a mid cap or a small cap. Okay. So I hope you guys got basic understanding about what is large cap, mid cap, and small cap. So one thing which I just want to give a clarity here is, let us suppose say Pidilite share price is 2,455 and Infosys it was just 1,389 rupees. Comparatively, Pidilite share price is more than Infosys. But if you see the market capitalization, Infosys has more market capitalization than Pidilite. So you have to understand absolute comparison of share prices doesn't give fair idea about the market capitalization. Just because Pidilite share price is higher doesn't mean that Pidilite should have more market capitalization than Infosys. So it also depends upon the number of shares. That's why you got to consider number of shares and current market price in order to compare two companies market capitalization. All right. So next, let's understand like what are the factors generally vary between the large cap, mid cap, and small cap. The first factor is risk. If you see, the risk is higher when you come to small cap, but whereas if you come to the mid cap, it is moderate, and whereas you come to the large cap, it is low. Why? So why the risk is low, moderate, and high here? So if you see the large cap, these are already grown businesses. Okay, these are already grown businesses. Obviously, let us suppose say whenever you invest your fund in some kind of, let us suppose say SBI banks, you feel little more secure when you invest the same fund in any small finance bank. So same way, the application, you can just apply here. So the large cap are already grown businesses and they have some kind of stabilization. They have some kind of good reserves. Like whenever COVID kind of situation comes, they got a very good strength in their balance sheet in order to handle those kind of temporary halt in the businesses. And the mid cap, when compared to large cap, they are, I would say, growing businesses. Growing businesses, and small caps are also growing businesses, but comparatively, these are more risky, and comparatively, these are, uh, you know, more riskier when you compare to the large caps. It's all about comparison between the large cap and mid cap. So large cap, you can say it as a grown businesses, and they are just maintaining that businesses and making the reasonable profits from thereafter. Like that itself, it's more than suffice to maintain the company. And mid caps, they are running the businesses and they are growing the businesses, but not as big as large cap, but bigger than smaller cap. So smaller cap or like they, I would say like they are like they just started their businesses growing, and then there was some kind of volatility in case if there are any situations like COVID. These companies are most affected. They couldn't withstand some kind of adverse factors which were more severe in nature. So if you see COVID, so it was more severe in nature. Like there was disruption in the business for almost a year. So in this kind of situations, a small cap will get affected because they don't have enough resource in their balance sheet. So that risk factor is there between, in comparison with each other. So that's why I'm saying like risk for the large cap is low compared to mid cap, and the risk factor is moderate for mid cap. As I said, it is low when compared to the small cap and high when you compare to the large cap. And the small cap, the risk factor is higher. And volatility wise, the same sign like volatility also, if you see HDFC Bank, if it posts any results, so if there is any kind of negative result, I mean like not that much negative, but quarter on quarter if you compare and year on year if you compare, if there is any kind of negative results, so 10% or 15% correction is seen as a decent correction, and investor will see it as a value and try to buy at 10 to 15% corrections, and that's happened with every large cap. And if you see the mid cap, this correction would extend till 30%. But whereas for the large cap, this correction can extend till 50%, or if the business is hampered, like the continuity is getting affected, then it can hamper more as well. So these are the basic things which you have to consider, when you are investing into the large cap, mid cap, and small cap. So nevertheless, you have to go for the fundamentals. You have to do your own research, and as I said, like it's just because you invest in the large cap, it's not that it is very safe. And just because you invest in the small cap, it's not that it is very risky. It all depends upon how you allocate funds to your portfolio. So it's very important to diversify your portfolio in such a way that it should be covering all kind of businesses and all kind of market caps, because At times, what happens? Small caps rallies. So these small cap rally will definitely make your portfolio looks brighter. So likewise, you have to take so many parameters into the consideration before making any kind of investments. So I hope this video helps you to understand what is market capitalization and classification of large cap, mid cap, and small cap. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. Jai Hind. So if you like this video, try to hit the like button and please do subscribe to our channel for more and more interesting videos like this. Thank you.